Japan, over 260% of GDP. Norway, basically debt-free, but only because they accidentally struck oil. So, is government debt bad? It depends. Debt is fine if it's used for productive investment like infrastructure. It stays sustainable, doesn't grow faster than GDP. Interest rates are low. Debt is bad if it's used to fund vote-winning nonsense. It causes runaway inflation. Investors lose trust and demand higher interest or stop lending altogether. At some point, debt interest becomes a budget item of its own. You borrow money to pay back money you already borrowed. That's called servicing the debt. In extreme cases, governments can default, stop paying entirely. Like Greece in 2012, Sri Lanka in 2022, and Argentina 9 times. But sometimes governments don't have a choice, especially in a crisis, like a war, or a global pandemic, or a financial meltdown caused by a housing bubble filled with lies. All right, time to zoom out. Let's say you live in a country. Congratulations, but your country can't make everything. Maybe it's great at growing coffee, but terrible at building cars. So it exports coffee and imports cars. That's international trade. Trade lets countries specialize in what they're relatively better at, even if they're worse at everything. This is called comparative advantage. Again, if Brazil gives up 1 ton of corn to grow 2 tons of coffee, and Canada gives up 2 tons of corn to grow 2 tons of coffee, Brazil has the comparative advantage in coffee. So Brazil exports coffee. Canada exports corn. Both win. That's the logic behind free trade. Just goods flying across borders. In containers, in trucks, on planes, on boats, all at once, until someone bans one. Trade increases efficiency, lowers prices, expands variety, and spreads technology. That's globalization, but not everyone wins equally. Some jobs move offshore. Some industries get crushed. Inequality can rise. That's called structural adjustment, and people don't usually like being adjusted, so governments sometimes interfere. They impose tariffs, taxes on imports, quotas, quantity limits, subsidies, money to help local producers cheat the free market, embargoes when politics says no trade for you. Protectionism protects domestic industries, but usually raises prices and makes everyone poorer in the long run. Trade happens in currencies. If Japan sells cars to the US, it wants yen, not dollars, so dollars get exchanged for yen. This is the foreign exchange market, aka Forex. The exchange rate tells you how much of one currency you get for another. 1 USD equals 150 yen? Cool. 1 USD equals 1 million Zimbabwe dollars? Less cool. Currencies can float or be fixed. Floating currencies change based on supply and demand. Most major currencies do this. Fixed currencies are pegged to something, like the US dollar or gold, and kept there by force or willpower. Exchange rates move because of interest rates, inflation, trade balances, investor confidence, wars, coups, scandals, and tweets. If your currency depreciates, your exports get cheaper.